Why we don't believe that we can do it better? We have to believe, you have to be positive to try to change the things. This is why we're not gonna give up. You know, the only give up is the guys who is weak mentally. Well, I remember when I was 18, 19, 20.
You know what I love? When people doubt you. When they talk behind your back like you're not built for this. When they throw your name around like it's a punchline. Because the moment they start talking, the moment the whispers turn into noise, that's when you know you've entered the game. Not just to play, but to take over. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Because right here, right now, you're about to learn how to turn every word they throw at you into fuel. Criticism is fuel, not failure. Criticism is fuel, not failure. Criticism has always carried a wall. For many, it feels like a brick wall, a reminder of inadequacy, a spotlight on imperfection. But for the few who understand its true nature, criticism becomes something entirely different. It becomes a source of power. Think about it. Nobody criticizes someone they don't notice. If your name is in their mouth, if your work is being analyzed, judged, and even ridiculed, it means you're in the arena. You're out there, doing something that stirs emotion, sparks conversation, and demands attention. Criticism doesn't land on the sidelines. It finds its way to the center of the stage. So the first thing to realize is that being criticized is a sign that you're relevant. But relevance alone isn't enough. The magic lies in how you respond. Most people flinch when they hear negativity. Their instincts are to defend, to retreat, or to conform. But champions, real champions, don't flinch. They absorb it, they let it hit, and then they use it. Every doubt becomes a challenge. Every insult becomes a dare. And every attempt to pull them down becomes a reason to rise even higher. Criticism, when internalized with the right mindset, becomes rocket fuel. It sharpens focus, it clears out distractions, it gives you a reason to wake up earlier, train harder, stay longer, and push past what others think is possible. Because it's no longer just about proving yourself right, it's about proving them wrong. There's a mental switch that happens when you stop fearing judgment and start feeding off it. You begin to anticipate it. You almost crave it. Not because you enjoy negativity, but because you've learned to convert it. Like fire to steam, like pressure to diamonds, you learn to take that external weight and turn it into internal drive. People who fear criticism often live small. They tiptoe, avoid risk, and settle for mediocrity. But the greats, the ones who create legacies, they walk straight into it. They look criticism in the eye and say, all right, give me your best shot. Let's see what you've got. They take care you'll never make it and turn it into a daily mantra. They wear it on their chest like armor. You have to stop seeing criticism as a verdict. It's not a final decision. It's just noise. And noise only matters if you listen to it the wrong way. Tune it correctly, and it becomes your theme song. Tune it wrong, and it becomes your downfall. The choice is always yours. This isn't about arrogance. This is about transformation, about evolving your mindset to a place where outside voices no longer break you but build you. You don't fold under scrutiny, you thrive in it. You become a player who performs better when the crowd boos than when it cheers. Because you understand the truth that the criticism is nothing more than attention, and attention is opportunity. Opportunity to respond, to rise, to dominate, to dominate. If they say you can't lead, outwork every name on the list until you're the one everyone follows. If they say you're finished, make sure your next move is the loudest of your career. That's how you use criticism. Not by debating it, not by crying about it, but by showing up and doing the exact thing they said you couldn't. Doubt is a signal you're doing something right. In a world where everyone's quick to respond, defend, and explain, real power lies in restraint. Let others talk. Let them judge, doubt, or throw shade. But you stay focused. You don't waste time proving points with words. You prove them with consistency, with discipline, with undeniable results. When you stay locked in on the grind and let your work shine, you don't need to clap back. The scoreboard does it for you. People remember what you did, not what you said. Energy spent on reactions is energy stolen from the mission. Prove yourself with results, not arguments. You don't need to argue your worth. You demonstrate it. Results shut mouths faster than debates ever will. While others get caught up in talking circles, you're already outworking them, outlasting them, outperforming them. When they say you can't, you don't respond with, I can. You respond with stats, wins, breakthroughs. Let your performance be the loudest voice in the room. Pressure builds champions. Pressure isn't something to run from, it's something to rise in. When the expectations are high, when the lights are the brightest, that's when the real ones show up. Pressure doesn't break the best, it reveals them. It forces you to focus, to sharpen every move, to bring your absolute best when it matters most. If you want to be great, you've got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Champions are forged in the heat, not the shade. The more pressure you feel, the closer you are to something big. Silence critics through relentless work. You don't beat criticism with opinions, you beat it with obsession. Relentless effort, day after day, is how you flip the narrative. Every early morning, every extra rep, every sacrifice becomes your reply. The critics don't deserve your energy. Your grind does. Keep working while they keep talking, and eventually, they'll either change their tone or get drowned out by your progress. Let your dedication do the talking. The strongest are always the most targeted. When you're winning, you become a magnet for praise, yes, but also for hate. The ones at the top are always the ones most criticized, not because they're wrong, but because they're visible. People throw shade at what shines. Being targeted is part of being great. It means you're setting standards others can't reach. Jealousy wears the mask of criticism, and the higher you go, the louder it gets. Take it as a sign of your impact. You don't get hit unless you're on fire. Every no is a setup for your yes. Rejection isn't the end, it's the beginning of domination. Every time someone says no, they're unknowingly giving you a new target. It's an opening, a redirection, a spark. Turn every door that closes into a reason to build your own. Don't chase validation, chase growth. Let the no echo in your mind until it becomes fuel for every extra rep, every sleepless night, every silent grind. Channel negativity into motivation. Negativity is everywhere. From critics, from rivals, sometimes even from within. But it's not about avoiding it. It's about redirecting it. Take the hate, the doubt, the side comments and use them as drive. Let every insult light a fire. Let every doubt sharpen your focus. The most dangerous competitor is the one who turns pain into power, setbacks into setups, and noise into momentum. Don't let negativity drain you. Let it charge you up and push you further than comfort ever could. Legacy is built in response to adversity. What you do when everything's going right is easy. It's what you do when the odds are stacked, when the world counts you out, that defines who you are. Adversity isn't just part of the journey, it's the foundation of greatness. It's in those moments of silence, failure, and struggle where true legacies are born. Your response, your resilience, your refusal to break, that's what people remember. If this lit a fire in you, don't just watch, act. Like, share, subscribe. This is Motivate with CR7, where doubt ends and domination begins. Let's go. Collision doubt has a strange way of sneaking into your path the moment you step outside your comfort zone. It shows up the second you start dreaming bigger, reaching higher, demanding more from yourself than the world expects. But here's the truth. Doubt isn't a sign of failure. It's a compass. It points toward growth. It signals that you're pushing boundaries. When no one doubts you, it usually means you're playing small. You're staying in the lines, doing what's safe, repeating what's already been done. But the moment you decide to aim higher, that's when the voices start. That's too much. Who do you think you are? Or not ready? Those voices don't come because you're off track. They come because you're on the verge of something real. You've got to learn to reinterpret doubt. Not as a barrier, but as confirmation. Doubt shows up where greatness begins. Nobody doubts what's ordinary. They doubt what challenges the norm. They doubt what disrupts. They doubt what threatens comfort zones, theirs and your own. And make no mistake, it's not just other people's doubt you face, it's your own. That inner voice that whispers all the worst case scenarios. That brings up every past failure. That wants you to stay where it's warm, where it's easy. That voice will get loud when you're close to leveling up. And again, that's your sign. That's your signal to go harder. Doubt, both from outside and within, is part of the price of ambition. It's part of the ticket to the next level. If you're not facing any resistance, you're not climbing high enough. People don't question mediocrity. They question movement, they question hunger, they question audacity to believe you can do what others won't even attempt. So if they're doubting you, good! That means you've got something worth watching. That means you've chosen a path they either fear or don't understand. And if you're doubting yourself, even better. That means you're growing. That means you're in unfamiliar territory. And that's where greatness lives. You've got to get addicted to that feeling, that rush of uncertainty, that moment right before you leap where the outcome isn't guaranteed. That's the moment most people pull back. But if you lean in, if you trust the process, you'll discover that doubt was never the enemy. It was a spark. It was proof that you were alive, awake, and on the edge of something worth doing. The ones who win are never the ones who win, are never the ones who never doubted. They're the ones who move forward in spite of doubt, who acted before they felt ready, who committed when they still had questions. That's where power is, not in perfection, not in comfort, but in courage. You'll never completely silence doubt, and you don't need to. You just need to learn how to hear it without obeying it. Let it speak, but don't let it decide. Let it visit, but don't let it stay. Because once you understand that doubt is a signal, a green light, not a red one, then you stop hesitating. You stop asking for permission. You stop playing small permission. You stop playing small and you start walking boldly in the direction of every goal they said was too big. You start becoming the kind of person who turns the impossible into the inevitable.